Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to your own channel Meedu Study. I am your friend Ashutosh from IIM Indore, and friends, as we all know, Meedu Study is your one-stop management solution in which we are discussing and covering management solutions in a very simple way. We have recently finished our CAT preparation series, which is for entry for your management schools, and if you are in MBA, pursuing MBA, then we are providing all subjects in simple way. Our today's video, my dear friends, is of our strategic management module. In strategic management module, we already have 3 videos of chapter 1, and today is the last video of first unit, which is about strategic decision making, in which we will know what is strategic decision making, why it is important, how strategic decisions are different from normal decisions, and what are the various steps in taking the strategic decisions. So let us begin today's video. First of all, how do we define strategic decisions? Basically, what are strategic decisions? So, strategic decisions deal with long-term future of an entire organization and have 3 characteristics. So, they are dealing with your long-term future of entire organization. So, very first thing, before we go to these 3 points, strategy is always long-term. It is not that you want to plan for this month's sales or month's production and you call it I am strategizing. No, that is a very, I would say, bleak way or wrong way of using strategy has to be long term, 3 year, 5 year, and if you are systematic, even 10 years. So if you take government examples, the earlier planning commission used to be, it was used to be 5 year plan used to come in your planning commission, or that is basically how you strategize. Okay, and there are basically 3 characteristics which are there for strategic decision. Strategic decisions have to be number 1 rare, number 2 consequential, and number 3 directive. Now what are these 3? Let us discuss them one by one. So first, starting with the first characteristics of strategic decision, it has to be rare. When I say rare, it means that strategic decisions are unusual and typically have no precedent to follow. So your day to day, if there is some usual decision which your senior is providing or someone is telling you in a meeting, that is not basically strategy, or that is not a strategic decision. Strategic decisions have to be rare, unusual, and typically no precedent to follow. Second, they have to be consequential. Now my dear friends, what is meaning of consequential? By consequential, we mean that strategic decisions commit substantial resources and demand a great deal of commitment from people at all levels. So these will, whenever we are making any strategic level changes, they will require your resources. That can be in terms of manpower, that can be in terms of labor, that can be in terms of capital, new installations, new purchasing, and all the stakeholders of the company, starting from top management to your mid management who will convey the decisions, act as a bridge, and to the worker level, your implementation executive level persons, all have to be involved, and commitment should be there from all. Otherwise that strategy will only remain on paper or slides, it will not get implemented. And the third characteristics which was there of strategic decision was that apart from being rare and consequential, the strategic decisions have to be directive. Now when we say directive, what is meaning of directive? Directive means strategic decisions set precedents for lesser decisions and future actions throughout an organization. So from the word directive, you can see they provide direction, and when they provide direction means future actions of organization are based on these. So a strategic decision has to be for long term, and it should follow or have these 3 characteristics: rare, consequential, and directive. Now let us move to our next topic. Our next topic is basically Mintzberg mode of strategic decision making. So as per Mintzberg, there are 4 modes of strategic decision making which we will discuss now. Our first mode under Mintzberg is entrepreneurial mode. Entrepreneur, from name itself it is clear. When someone is entrepreneur or working in that particular style, means he is working with his own whims, fancies, and has a overall control. His decisions are not subject to someone else's questions, and he can take decisions at even strategic decisions alone by himself. So when an organization is working in that particular mode, that is known as entrepreneurial mode. Strategy is made by one powerful individual, and this person has to be powerful, and other person should follow him. He should command that sort of respect or have now that can be by the virtue of respect, or by position or by domination, by anything, but that command he should have, then it is known as entrepreneurial mode. Second is your adaptive mode. Now when we say adaptive, it is characterized by reactive solutions to existing problem. Now when we say reactive, this solution can be of two types. It can either be reactive or it can be proactive. So reactive solution means that something happens and you are reacting in the best possible manner on that particular situation. Vis-a-vis second is proactive. Proactive search of new opportunities means proactive you are searching for this. So this adaptive mode focuses more on your reactive solution. Let us move to the next mode, third mode. Third mode, my dear friends, is planning mode. So as the name suggests, you plan for things in this particular mode. It involves the systematic gathering of appropriate information for situation analysis, the generation of feasible alternative strategies, and rational selection of most appropriate strategies. So you will gather whatever information is possible from various things. You will gather that information. After that, you will generate the feasible or strategies which are there, and from that you will select the one which is most rational and most appropriate. Okay. And last and fourth type is logical incrementalism. That we can say in a way is a mix of all these particular three: planning mode, adaptive mode, and to a lesser extent entrepreneurial mode. These were four modes of strategic decision making. Now let us move to the next topic, which is strategic decision making process. So strategic decision making process, my dear friends, is a 8-step process. First step is evaluate the current performance results. See, without evaluation of the current thing, we cannot know what are the flaws. So there will be always some current objectives or some current mission which company would have framed previously. Against that, we need to evaluate the performance. After that, second, we need to review the corporate governance. Reviewing corporate governance means reviewing at your top level, your board of director level and your top management level. Third, so step number third and fourth are basically your assessing of environment. So we need to scan and assess the environment. And when we say assessing the environment, it should be assessing both the external environment and the internal corporate environment. External things which are going, which can impact, we need to scan and assess them. And similarly, the internal environment which is there, we need to scan and assess that as well. After these assessing, we need to analyze the strategic factors. Okay. Once we have analyzed the strategic factors, we will be able to generate some alternatives, various alternatives, 4, 5, depending upon situation, sometimes maybe less, even 2 or 3. From those alternatives, we will evaluate those alternatives based upon the parameters. Now that parameters can depend upon management to management, what management is looking for, and then we need to select the best alternative strategies amongst that. Which strategy is best for us? Once we have done this, selected it, after that we need to go for implementation, and this implementation would have a complete set of your budgets, programs and things to carry out that implementation. This is the implementation phase. And last one is your control and evaluation phase, in which you are evaluating the strategy so that we can see if it is fulfilling the objective or not. Now from in next slide, let us see the flowchart to understand this. Okay. Source of this slide is mentioned over here from where we have taken this diagram. First is evaluate the current performance results. And when we say evaluate the current performance results, we need to examine and evaluate the current mission, objectives, strategies and policies. We need to see, we need to evaluate them. Then we need to review the corporate governance, and like I told you, corporate governance means board of directors as well as top management. Then comes assessing your environment. External, internal. External environment means scan and assess the external environment. External environment, like we discussed in our previous video, it was about natural societal tasks. If there is any confusion, you can refer to previous video for this and understand this topic. And when we say in terms of SWOT analysis, external are basically opportunities which are available to you and threats which are there, which you need to take care of while implementing the strategy. And when we want to say about the internal corporate environment, there will be some already existing organization structure, organization culture and resources in the organization that we need to scan and assess. And we also need to analyze the internal factors, which are your strengths and weaknesses. So SWOT basically strengths and weaknesses for internal, opportunities and threats for external. After we have done this both evaluation, comes our next step, which is select the strategic factors in light of current situation. We will select the factors, and after selecting the factors, we will review and revise as necessary the missions and objectives. What are possible to review and revise, we will do that. Okay. Now, after all this review, we will have a set of alternatives in front of us. So in step 6, by step 6, reaching step 6, we have generated that list of alternatives. Now we need to evaluate them, and after evaluating, we need to select and recommend the best alternative. We need to select the alternatives amongst them and also recommend the one which is best. After you have done this, comes the next step, which is your strategy implementation steps. And like I told you previously, implementation will involve programs. Implementation proper program should be designed. There should be proper budget allocation to it, and procedures also should be well defined. It should not be like you are doing things haywire without any proper planning. Also, that would fail. So we need to keep all this in mind and do. And last will be our evaluation and control, which is step 8, which is very necessary because we need to see the strategy which we have made, which we have formulated, is actually working or not. With this, we cover the 8 steps of strategy formulation, strategy decision making process. Now, a last small topic in this is of strategic audit, which I thought we will understand before closing our unit 1. So, strategic audit is basically it is a aid to strategic decision making. Audit in anything basically helps. The things which you are already implemented in audit, they will be checked against those principles, against those objectives, whether they are working or not. Okay. And in audit provides a checklist of questions. Now those questions can either be by area, the area which you want to audit, or by issue, some particular issues which you want to make a check of. That enables a systematic analysis to be made of various corporate functions and activities. So systematic analysis of various corporate functions and activities, this is known as our strategic audit. With this, my dear friends, we come to end of our today's video as well as our unit 1, in which we discussed about the basic introduction of strategy. From next video, we will start social responsibility and ethics in strategic management, our next chapter, next unit, which is very important because along with making strategy which is profitable for company, we also need to understand that we are responsible both socially as well as ethically, and same should reflect in our strategies. Friends, if there is any confusion, any suggestion, any feedback in today's video, please let us know. You can write in the comment section or our mail ID, which is medu.study@gmail.com. We will definitely work on it. If you are liking our content, please like our video, share it and subscribe to Medu Study. Thank you. Good day. Take care.